Good morning, I'm Stephen Thompson. I'm the head teacher of Croxley Danes School, and it's a pleasure to welcome you to our school today. The majority of this presentation will be led by myself. However, as you can see, you'll also be hearing from some of our students, as well as our deputy head teacher, who will guide you through the admissions process. I hope that many of you will be familiar with the school. However, if you're sitting here this morning under the impression that Croxley Danes School only started in September 2017, then please forgive me for spending some time to summarise our history to date. The story begins 8 years ago in 2013. That was when Hertfordshire County Council approached St Clement Danes School, as a school rated as outstanding by Ofsted, to consider opening a new school to address the local need for additional secondary places in South West Hertfordshire. As for myself, by 2014 I'd been on the senior leadership team of St Clement Danes for 12 years and did not hesitate to join the head teacher of St Clement Danes at the time, Dr. Josephine Valentine, to develop the detailed application to open a new school. That submission was made in October 2014 and approved by the Department for Education in March 2015. From that point onwards, as Deputy Head Teacher at St Clement Danes, I assumed the position of Project Manager for the school in its pre-opening phase. In January 2017, I was appointed as Head Teacher of Croxley Danes, and in September 2020, Dr. Valentine was appointed Chief Executive Officer of the Danes Educational Trust, which is now comprised of 4 secondary schools, 4 primaries, and 1 UTC. So in essence, as far as I'm concerned, Croxley Danes School is already at least 7 years old, even if we only accepted our first cohort of students 4 years ago. One of the strengths of the Danes Educational Trust is a strong ethos. Our school's core values of excellence, respect and trust pervade our school and underpin our behaviours. Our students are happy, engaged and aspirational. We expect them to have an excellent attitude to learning, to contribute to a respectful culture which embraces diversity and celebrates the achievements of all students, and in so doing, develop a community which is strengthened by an implicit trust in one another. We already know that we have an impressive cohort of students in years 7 to 11, and we are confident they will act as role models to your children next year. If you are wondering whether our aspirations for our student body are translating into reality, then I would like to share the findings of our student survey from last year. Their feedback demonstrates that we are delivering upon our objectives. The students are encouraged to achieve their best through their application to their studies, through an expectation of exemplary behaviour, and also through our appreciation of our support for all cultures and religions. Hopefully you can see within the selection of responses I have presented the underlying theme of high expectations with regard to behaviour and developing responsible moral values. When we have surveyed parents, we have often seen a mirroring of the students' responses, which is encouraging. However, having said that, parents and students don't always agree. 50% of our students felt they were given too much homework, but when parents have been asked, only 14% gave the same response. Perhaps reassuring to learn that some parent-student divides in opinion will always persist. Moving on, the Croxley Danes curriculum has been designed to develop confidence, independence, a sense of belonging to the community, and the celebration of learning and achievement. The current curriculum for the Year 7 Croxley Danes students is identical to the tried and tested curriculum of the Year 7 students at St Clement Danes. They follow a 2-week timetable of 50 one-hour lessons, and the fortnightly time allocated to each subject is displayed on this slide. You will notice that there's an emphasis on the core subjects of English and Maths. The staff will focus on rapidly narrowing the gaps in literacy and numeracy skills at secondary transfer to ensure that all can make rapid progress in every subject. That work is then supplemented through our Reading Buddy and Numeracy Buddy programmes, in which Year 7 students work with older students to develop their confidence and skills in English and Maths. The SENCO also ensures that barriers to learning are identified and communicated to staff to support quality first teaching. Similarly, and just as importantly, the aspirations of more able students will be identified and their development will be supported and challenged by their teachers. As these images demonstrate, we can certainly promise you fantastic facilities. Probably some of the best of any schools in the area, given that the development cost for this site exceeded £30 million. We don't take these facilities for granted and are ensuring they are well maintained but also continue to be developed. In October of last year, we installed an AstroTurf and floodlights, which I hope you will see today. And in April 2021, we completed the finishing touches to our tennis courts, which I would argue are the best quality tennis courts of any state school in the country. If that's not enough, we also aim to install floodlights on our netball courts over the next 12 months. However, facilities alone do not make a school. Possibly, as a Year 6 pupil, you are wondering what the teachers are like, whether you will make friends, whether you will be happy at Croxley Danes. Those are all good questions. After all, you and your parents are making an important decision on where you will spend a quarter of your day for 5 days a week, 39 weeks a year. So I hope you had an opportunity to listen to the student testimonies that were playing before this presentation. And if you didn't, I will shortly be handing over to one or two of our students to give you their perspective of life at this school. And now I want to talk directly to any Year 6 students in the audience. I'm guessing that you feel that so far my speech hasn't been aimed at you and that I've been talking to your parents. Well, to be fair, I probably have, because they want you to be successful at secondary school. However, whilst I agree with them and will endorse that message, I want you to know that there is more to picking the correct secondary school. So Year 6, I'm talking to you now. I might be your potential head teacher, but what you need to know is that whilst it is really important that you work hard in class, I also want you to experience so much more. I used to coach football teams at St Clement Danes. I've played tennis competitively for nearly 45 years, and for over 10 years I've played for Buckinghamshire's over 35s team. I'm an avid sports fan and keen to see the students participate and be successful in inter-school sports. I also have a daughter in secondary school who has experienced the mixed feelings of excitement and worry about the move from primary to secondary. Would there be enough sport? Would there be opportunities to study musical instruments? Would she make friends and be happy? In other words, I know how you feel right now about moving on to secondary school. I just want to point out one of the opportunities that's unique to our secondary school. You'll be able to help me and my senior leadership team shape the school, its traditions and ethos. You have a great opportunity because, as one of the year groups joining in the formative years of the school, the success of the school is in your hands just as much as mine. If you agree like me that you want an outstanding school with a strong sense of community, then there's nothing to hold us back. Because I will ensure the school is well led, well resourced and well staffed. And myself and my leadership team and staff will ensure that underpinning everything we do, there will be the highest standards of behaviour. Before concluding, I want to give you a brief outline of the student experience outside of lessons since 2017. As you'll be able to read for yourself if you visit our website, the students have benefited from a huge variety of extracurricular experiences and school events. There have been trips to Bletchley Park, Croxley Moor, Neasden Temple, the Globe Theatre, Kew Gardens, the Big Bang Fair, an activities holiday in Devon, outdoor activities days at Longridge and Willen Lake, and a rewards trip for students at Thorpe Park. Student teams have competed successfully against other schools in football, netball, rugby, athletics, rounders, tennis and multi-sports competitions. There have been remembrance services, charities events, raising almost £10,000, a creative arts event, music concerts, a school musical, student-led faith-based assemblies, public speaking and spelling bee competitions, and gym and dance performances, to name but a few of the events. And on Monday, our first ever cohort of 32 Year 11 prefects are attending a leadership day with our deputy head teacher at Faisals Activity Centre, which is fully subsidised by the school. In my opinion, whether you are a parent or a potential student, it is the student experience that you really want to hear about. So I'm now going to invite 3 of our students to give you an insight into their experience of attending Croxley Danes School. And after they have spoken, our Deputy Head Teacher, Orla Ridge, will explain the admissions process.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Yusuf and I'm a Year 11 student and prefect here at Croxley Danes. I have joined this school since its inaugural day in 2017. Over the past 4 years, we've experienced a lot of change. From the start of our journey at St. Clement Danes, to the move to our temporary site on Talpids Lane, to here, our amazing school on Baldwin's Lane. In all that time, the school has provided us with a plethora of opportunities which engaged our learning and excited us for the later years. Let's start at the beginning, Year 7 at St. Clement Danes. Throughout the year, we were given the opportunity to participate in a multitude of competitions, from maths to spelling, from drama to public speaking, you name it. In doing so, these events have prepared us for when we go out into the real world and are faced with the competitions of life. These opportunities have made me become a more resilient person and have given me the chance to discover new interests that I never knew I enjoyed. After our time at St. Clement Danes, we shifted to Talpids Lane, our second school site. Even though our playground was half of a car park, these 2 years still allowed us to develop a fantastic school identity. At the end of the day, a school is about its students, and this became transparent through the student-led lessons and assemblies. I was one of the 4 students to be given the amazing opportunity to lead the first ever student-led lesson at our school, and it was an experience which allowed me to share my passion with my classmates. I feel that this chance has allowed me to learn and engage in my studies in a different, more exciting way, and this is something which you may not find in many other schools. 2 years later, and here we are, here. Croxley Danes has experienced a lot of change, and the teachers have consistently helped us with this change throughout the years. We have a well-being group that actively tries to make a positive difference to every student at our school. So if anyone has a problem, there is always a member of staff to go talk to or a safe place to be in. At our age, we appreciate facilities like these because our lives are further evolving, and most of the time, having someone to talk to and to support you goes a long way. The transition into our GCSEs was smooth, stress-free, and quite enjoyable because of the supportive and passionate teachers at our school. And I'm sure that your move from primary school to secondary school will be as seamless and exciting, if not more. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Freya and I'm in Year 10. I joined Croxley Danes in 2018, a little later than the rest of my form in Year 7. So changing schools was so daunting and I was very anxious as to whether I would fit in or even be happy here. However, I was welcomed with open arms and found friends that are still supporting me here today. Even then, the teacher would make sure my well-being came first and I was enjoying the time at Croxley Danes. I remember on my first day, waiting in reception, and by pure coincidence, the first student I saw was a girl in my form who mistook me for the year above her, and we still joke about this today. Everyone was so accepting, and it made the transition a lot smoother. I'm so glad that I was accepted to the school, as I know it will give me opportunities that will make a huge difference to my future. Croxley Danes has so much to offer, and it will be fantastic to see more students have the same experience I have had. It's easy to forget sometimes that our building facilities are brand new. Even though they've had 800 or so students using it for over a year now, it still manages to look like it was open yesterday. As you will have seen, or will see, the school's grounds and the incredible learning environments built for the students to succeed in have amazed us all. However, even when we're in an office block in Talpids Lane, our fantastic teachers managed to create an environment that we found engaging and really helped to improve my learning. Along with all the great memories, we know the most important thing is the education we receive here. And I'm sure that I speak for my teachers and peers when I say that I really enjoy my lessons, and I think that highlights how ambitious and eager the teachers and staff are, and how their love for learning really impacts the teaching environment. This also reflects on our attitude to learning, how we interact in lessons, how we take pride in ourselves, and how we encourage others' participation. I love my extracurricular clubs, and I highly recommend them as they lead to amazing opportunities. For example, I've been on multiple day trips out to learn about the different humanities subjects, travelling to London to take part in a workshop and public speaking debates, even a theatre production of Frankenstein, which we are now studying in Year 10, and many, many inter-school sports-related competitions. My parents always tell me that they never enjoyed their time at school, and I never understood why, as I love mine, and I know that if I wake up in the morning on the wrong side of the bed, I will walk through the doors and someone will be there waiting to put the smile back on my face.
Good morning. If you have already been in to see the music department, then you may recognise me. My name is Katie, one of the music prefects, and I am lucky enough to have been asked to present a speech about our promised school on its very first open day. Although I am in Year 11, I can still remember sitting on the floor of the Barbarolli Hall, our head teacher telling us a dream of a brand new building. In many ways, it feels like a miracle that we actually got here. From the temporary accommodation at Talpitts Lane, all the way through to the ongoing pandemic, our teachers have managed to somehow pull us through. So this is where I'll start, with our very own teachers, many of which have been here since day one, just like us. I must admit that I found it quite surprising how friendly the staff are. Walking through the corridors, even new staff who I had never even met said good morning. It was a lovely yet unexpected feeling. The staff are incredibly enthusiastic about their subjects. In turn, this makes lesson content a lot more engaging for us students. It's incredible to see someone be so proud to pass on the knowledge of the subject that they enjoy, as it's inspiring in a way. And this enthusiasm also means that teachers are willing to sacrifice their own free time in order to hold extracurricular activities for us students. Being a music student, I'm involved in 3 of the clubs that my department offers: choir, Crox band and jazz band. Despite being so music orientated, I'm also lucky enough to be a part of the geography department's environmental group, where past achievements include reducing the single-waste plastic at our school and building a bug hotel to harbour insects and protect them against any stray footballs. This club gives me the opportunity to learn about what I can do as an individual, as well as what we can do as a school to combat this climate crisis. Now, these clubs that I have listed are all personal to me. However, there are clubs within every subject that the school provides. An MFL club, where you can learn about different cultures, a history club, where subjects outside of the curriculum are covered, and time prevents me from going into detail about the countless number of the clubs that the PE department offers, but if you have visited the sports hall, then you will have surely seen them for yourselves. Although we are so new, our school has worked tirelessly to give us the best opportunities to extend our reach and blossom outwards into areas that are not taught in classes. Since my time is running out, I will just say that we will be looking forward to seeing you next year, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. I will now pass you on to Miss Ridge to talk about the admissions.
Good morning, it is a pleasure to speak to you, and I hope that you will be making an application for your son or daughter to join us at Croxley Danes next year. With regard to school admissions, you should have a copy of the admissions arrangements for secondary transfer 2022 as an insert in your school prospectus. If you do not, then please do not hesitate to contact a member of staff before you leave this morning to ensure you have the correct documentation. The admission arrangements can also be accessed via our school website. Croxley Danes School is a co-educational all-ability academy. The admissions committee of Croxley Danes School, which includes a head teacher, is responsible for all admissions to the school and for secondary transfer to Croxley Danes. The school will be participating in the coordinated secondary transfer admissions arrangements administered by Hertfordshire County Council. The published admission number for Year 7 is 180 students. The school will accordingly admit this number of students in 2022 if there are sufficient applications. Those 180 students will be placed in 6 forms of entry, by which we mean there will be 6 teaching groups of 30 students. Applications for secondary transfer for September 2022 will need to be submitted by the 31st of October 2021. Where there are more applications than the PAN, the Admissions Committee of Croxley Danes School will apply the oversubscription criteria. Last year, the school received 1,035 applications for the 180 places available. When the school is oversubscribed, after the admission of students with an education, health and care plan naming the school, priority for admission will be given to those children who meet the criteria set out below in order of priority. The first priority is children looked after and children who were previously looked after but immediately after being looked after became subject to adoption, a child arrangement order or special guardianship order. This also includes those who appear to the admissions authority to have been in a state care abroad. Number 2, children whose brother or sister is in attendance at the school at the time of application, or whose brother or sister qualifies for a place in the same round of applications under Criterion 4 or through an education, health and care plan. Number 3, for children of staff who are permanently employed to work at Croxley Danes School. Number 4, up to 10% of places will be for students demonstrating musical aptitude as determined by a test during the autumn term 2021. Number 5, distance places will be allocated on the basis of proximity to the school. The school uses Hertfordshire County Council's straight line measurement system. Distances are measured using a computerised mapping system to 2 decimal places. The measurement is taken from the address-based premium address point of the applicant's house to the address point of Croxley Danes School in Baldwins Lane, Croxley Green. If the school becomes oversubscribed within any of criteria 2, 3 and 5 above, proximity to the school will first be applied with those living closest to the school having priority for admission. Random allocation will be used as a tie-break to decide who has the highest priority for admission. However, if children of multiple births, that is twins and triplets, are tied for the final place, those siblings will be admitted over our published admission number. To avoid any confusion, we wish to stress very clearly that unlike a number of other local schools, no places at Croxley Danes will be awarded through an academic test. All applicants are required to complete the common application form provided by the County Council or the authority in which they reside, and they must rank Croxley Danes School as one of their preferences if they wish their application to be considered by the school. The secondary application form must be completed and submitted to the County Council or authority. Applicants applying under Criterion 3, that is children of staff, or Criterion 4, musical aptitude, are also requested to complete a Croxley Danes School application form, also known as a supplementary information form, in order for the Admissions Committee of Croxley Danes School to apply the admission rules to the application. The Croxley Danes application form is provided as an insert in your prospectus. It can also be accessed on the Croxley Danes School website or by collecting a copy from the school reception. A completed copy should be handed or posted to Croxley Danes School for the attention of our admissions officer. The application forms must be completed and returned by the closing date for admissions of the 31st of October 2021 in order for the application to be considered. Offers will be communicated to parents on National Offer Day, which is the 1st of March 2022. For those of you who receive an offer of a place at Croxley Danes School in September 2022, I want to finish by running through the arrangements to support your child through that transition from primary to secondary school. Firstly, every child awarded a place will receive a visit by either myself or the head of Year 7 to their primary school. During that visit, we will meet with and get to know the children, as well as meeting with their teaching staff to gain an understanding of the key information that we need to ensure your child is successful here in September. The main event prior to students joining us in September 2022 will be the secondary transfer day that will take place on Thursday the 14th of July 2022. On that day, students will meet the key members of staff who will be working at the school next year, such as myself, the head of Year 7, the SENCO, the form tutors and other teaching staff. Between now and National Offer Day on the 1st of March 2022, there are a number of ways in which you can find out more information about the school and keep in touch. Firstly, you can find a wealth of information about our school on our website, where you will find updates about the site and news stories about student activities and successes. Whether or not you use social media, a visit to our Twitter account online is a must to get a real flavour of what goes on a daily basis at our school. Our faculties tweet regularly and our main feed retweets the highlights. In October, we will hold several open mornings here on site. This will give Year 6 parents an opportunity to see our students at work. An online sign-up form for these mornings will be available on our website from Wednesday afternoon. Finally, if having used these opportunities to find out more, you still have questions, you can contact us using one of these 2 email addresses. We will do our best to answer your queries as promptly as possible. We very much hope that you will make an application for your son or daughter to join our school and that they will be a part of the next cohort of students who will join our community at Baldwin's Lane and enjoy the fantastic facilities that we have to offer. Thank you.
To finish, I just want to say that we were humbled last year that over 1,000 families applied to send their children to us, with over 200 selecting us as their first choice school. Many decided to turn down places at established high quality schools in favour of the vision we are delivering and the community we are building. They took us on trust, and that trust is now paying off. Of course, this year, yes, you will still have to place a good deal of trust in us. But you can now feel the ethos and excitement, hear from our students, and see the school we have delivered. It's a really important decision you will make over the next few weeks. Yes, you will be swayed by what you hear and see at mornings or evenings such as this. Yes, you will decide who to trust. You may choose to methodically weigh up the pros and cons of each school. However, ultimately, you know your child the best and may already have a gut feeling about where they will be happiest, where they will thrive, and where they will have the best chance of becoming the adult they want to become. I very much hope that will be at Croxley Danes School, and that your son or daughter will be part of the next Year 7 cohort to join us here. We wish you an enjoyable morning. Thank you for listening.